Hello everyone. It is Niall from Karma Photos. Today we are doing a self-portrait slash headshot session. I haven't taken photos of myself in a really long time, believe it or not. I don't like getting in front of the camera. But pretty much I'm just gonna build up the photo, show you guys kind of how it goes, like what goes into it, how each light affects the photo. I already made an attempt at this video, but I started filming it on my phone and I kind of need it for the photo. So we're redoing it. I'm using the camera today. So pretty much I'm just gonna show you the entire setup and then you're gonna kind of just see how each thing manipulates and affects the look and feel of the photo. So just to get into the meat and potatoes of it, first let's ignore all the camera gear over there. This is our key light. This is our most important light. This is a Godox AD600 Pro. Let me see if they got the logo. Yeah, Godox AD600 Pro. We got a regular octabox on it with a grid. I always keep the grid on it. That's why it's on there now, but if I feel like I want to take it off, I will later. Same thing with this thing. This is a Godox AD200 Pro though, so it's a little bit smaller, a little bit weaker. But that's gonna be our fill light if we feel like we need a fill light. And then over here we got our 9-foot backdrop on some Very poles. Pretty cool. I got those not too long ago also. And then we have these two lights, which are MS300Vs. These are gonna act as like kind of either separation from the background, or it's going to be used to light the background so that we get an even lighting if I feel like that's important, which I really don't because I could just fix that in Photoshop, but if I wanted to, I would do so. Usually I like to have some type of separation just because it enhances certain features of mine that I want enhanced, and you will see it once I start showing you the photos and how they come out. Now, the camera that we're shooting with the A7C Mark II with a 28 to 70 lens. And so basically how you take a portrait, if I could show you really quick, is turn off the flash trigger, make sure all the ambient light is killed. Nothing. You don't want to see anything on this screen or in the viewfinder. It doesn't have to be pitch black, but just make sure that there's nothing ambient coming out, right? And if you're not working with powerful enough lights, then fair enough, you might not be able to kill all the ambient light. But since we have a 600 Pro, we can do that. So we kill all the ambient light, then we turn on our flash trigger, and then this is the only light that's on right now. So we're going to basically get our exposure for this one. I already know what it is because I took a test photo. It's gonna be 1/4. So the camera settings are 1/160, f8, and ISO 100. It's at 1/160 because those lights back there don't have high-speed sync. Pretty much I'm going to be shooting with the, what is this called? The Creators app. It's the Sony app or whatever. So we're going to be shooting with the Creators app, and then I'm going to do this thing. It's called touch tracking, so I could just tap my face when it pops up, and then it'll take the photo for me, and then everything will be all Gucci. So I'll show you first test photo. There I am. You love me. All right, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Now what we can do is walk over here. Pretty much it's pretty nicely exposed. What I am noticing though is that there is a bit of shadow, a bit too much shadow on the far side of the key. So that's where this bad boy comes into play, is, you know, the fill light. You get the light so that you can fill in the shadows. Now, one thing that I will note that I think might be better for this, but I'm not gonna do, is using a different type of modifier like a strip box. This is a really small softbox and it's really kind of directional. Plus I have a grid on it, but having it be that small is really only gonna light up the top half of my body. If I have a strip box on it though, it would light up the entire side of my body. So if I'm not feeling lazy, then I might go set that up and then get it rocking. But if not, I'm just gonna keep this on, maybe take off the grid. I'm just gonna do some poses, see what I can get out of this one light setup, and then I'm gonna move on to the 2 light setup with this one, and then we're gonna go to full on, what is it, like four lights or whatever, and then you know, we'll go from there. One thing that I will note though is that I am wearing glasses, and that could pose an issue for many different reasons, but obviously the reflection part. Now, I want to wear glasses in my photos because it just helps with the invitingness of my look. I have somewhat of an intimidating face and stature. I'm about 6'6'1", and I'm not particularly super skinny. I have a little bit of muscle, so wearing certain clothing and wearing glasses and styling my hair in certain ways that's a bit more inviting is always helpful. So for that, I'm going to try to keep the glasses on as much as possible. I'm just going to try to manipulate these lights to work a bit more in my favor, such as raising this up a bit more and keeping my head tilted down. So we'll see what happens from there. But other than that, I think we're looking good. I just raised the flash power on the fill light to 1/2, I think. So we're gonna test that out and see how that works. Let's see. Let's see. Not feeling like I'm getting much out of it, so what I'm gonna do actually is just adjust the placement. Alright, so that's me just being a Dumbo and not having my actual fill light on. I was adjusting the settings on the trigger, but I didn't check if I turned that one back on, so that one is on me. But let's take a test shot, see if it's looking right. Awesome sauce. Ooh, that's too bright now. That's too commercial-y. Let's because the thing is that I still really enjoy shadows on my photos. I don't like to be extra bright and lightened up, because that's not really my personality. I'm a very mellow and calm individual, and I want my portraits to kind of portray that. So, test shot. Awesome. I'm thinking I'm liking that. Now, with that, what we can do is I'm gonna turn on the timer on my camera actually, so that I can kind of like work out some poses and see what works for, whatever I'm trying to go for. And then we're gonna turn on these lights, and then you're gonna see the difference that it makes and what it does to the image. So let's turn on the timer. We're gonna do a 2-second timer. Seems simple enough. I have a mirror behind you guys. I'm wondering if I should get it and face it towards me, but I'm kind of just gonna wing it. Now, one thing that I do know is that I enjoy facing towards the key light. It just seems more flattering to me for myself. But I'll do both so that you can see the difference between facing the key light versus facing the fill light, or facing the negative. Now, here's the issue. I know that I enjoy how I look. Wow, I can't see anything. I know how I enjoy how I look with glasses on. I look more mature, sophisticated. Again, I'm 21, so the whole purpose with the way that I dress, the way that I portray myself, the way, like, a lot of the actions that I take within my life, one, it's the pursuit of money, and two, it's so that people are able to portray and view me as older than I am, because a lot of people find it as a disqualifier to be young. So for me, I only have one tattoo. I got it when I was 18. I enjoy tattoos, but I don't have any more just because I want the best portrayal of myself to be out there. Why? Because I'm after the pursuit of money. And some would be like, oh, do what you want, do what you, whatever. Look, what I want is to achieve something. And so if I have to withhold or put a pause on certain things, I will do so. Yeah, so the glasses, same thing. Like, do I need glasses all the time? Not at all. Like, I really only need it for when I'm driving at nighttime or when I'm reading something really far away. Like, other than that, I don't really need glasses. But, wearing the glasses, it's always inviting. It always, makes people more comfortable. I come off as less intimidating, and that is the goal. So with the picture, here's the issue. I would like to wear the glasses, but there's a lot of glare going on, and I don't know how it's working for the photo right now. You know, I haven't really taken too many photos with the glasses on. So we're just gonna keep testing out different things. I think what I'm not liking is that I have nothing on my hair. There's no hair light. So this is where a backlight is gonna start to come in, is because I need something to light up my hair, because look, it's black. I'm kind of far away from the lights. Usually the light is like right above me, but right now I have them kind of far away. I mean, I could bring them closer. I could bring this one closer, and I could remove this grid, which is what we're gonna do. Um, because it might help. You never know until you try it, you know? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring this closer to me. We're gonna take a test shot. I think it's gonna be a little bit overexposed because I brought the light closer. Let's see. Yeah, we're a bit overexposed. And actually this fill light is looking a little bit brighter too, so. All right, so right now we're at 1/8. I believe we're at 1/4 before, so we're gonna try 1/8. 1/8 looks good. Let's keep going. I actually really like that. I really like that one. All right, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Now, unfortunately for me, I haven't been going to the gym for like a couple weeks now. Like I haven't gone in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, so it's been a bit rough. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't want to overthink it, because the photo isn't about how I look. It's not about, you know, me being pretty and stuff. I already know I am, but no, it's not about me being pretty. It's about serving a purpose. It's pretty much so that I can make this video and show you guys that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to taking a photo. And two, it's for the fact that I need more photos for my website, for, you know, my Google My Business, for my Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. It's just helpful overall, so that's really the main goal, is just, you know, being able to showcase my skill. Now with this light here, I wonder if the glasses like would affect it, since I brought this one closer and it's like kind of a little bit more off to the side. But it was probably this one that was really causing the issue, so like I think maybe putting this one over here would be better. But let's just take another photo. Let's go. Alright. What you're seeing isn't going to be what you see on the camera. It's going to look a lot better. You ready? Okay, sometimes I will admit I don't know which side or which lighting would work best for me. Like I know that anything that pretty much is close to clamshell or loop lighting or Rembrandt or anything like that will always look good on me, because, you know, the light being high up kind of casts a shadow under my jaw and it creates this sort of separation that looks good. Now when it comes to which side exactly to face or which side to have the key light on, I'm not 100% sure all the time, you know, because every single time that I take a photo, the other side always looks best, or the other side kind of works better for me. Now today, it feels like, or it seems as though, facing away from the light, kind of doing a broad lighting type setup, broad, right? Yeah. Broad, doing a broad lighting type setup for myself is working a bit better. The photos are coming out more pleasing, you know, more sort of inviting, while also maintaining the shadows that I like where I want them to be at. Typically when I do photos, usually I'm shooting on the shadow side, just because I have that cinematography aspect in my brain all the time. Like it's always like shadow side, shadow side. But this time I decided to just kind of try the other way, and it's really working out. So what that basically means is, over here is our key light, that's our fill light. I'm facing the fill light. So when I'm posing, and one thing to note is that when you're taking photos, nobody really should just be standing straight on like this, you know, unless you really got such a beautiful face that you could just, you know, show up and the photo turns out great, fine, whatever it is. But for most people, most individuals, you're gonna wanna pick a side and kind of do a 45-degree turn or whatever it is. You know, it helps to accentuate the waist to shoulder ratio, waist to chest ratio if you're a lady, everything like that. It just looks better. So when you're taking your photos, if you ever decide to take somewhat of a homemade headshot or whatever, be sure that you're kind of like turning your body. And also, when you're taking a photo with a photographer on a camera, and they're using flash and everything like that, lean towards the camera, or kind of like separate, like, you know, whenever you hear photographers say push your face forward or lean forward or anything and it sounds stupid or it feels stupid, it's because they're creating separation between your face and your neck, right? Because most times if you're just standing like this, it's gonna look like you're, you know, you have a double chin. And for me, I know for myself, and when I'm taking my photos, I like to shoot kind of around nose level, or like maybe a little bit below, like around nose level though, just because it kind of presents more of a even eye level look or a position of power. I really don't like shooting down on people. Some people like being shot down on. That sounds so weird. But I really don't like shooting down on people, so pretty much if you're shooting down or if you're shooting up towards somebody, you're gonna see this under part. So when you hear photographers say push your face forward and like chin down and all that stuff, it's because they want that separation between your face and your neck, because you don't want to have a double chin in the picture. That's gonna look like mad crazy. It's not really that bad, but you know, some people feel insecure about it, you know. I know that I care deeply about, like, you know, my facial features, my jaw and all that other stuff. That's why we're gonna use these backlights or whatever, these rim lights, so that we can create that separation, and you're gonna see the difference in the photo. So actually, let's just turn these on. Now the great thing about these lights here is that they have modeling lights, right? Or modeling lamps, whatever they're called. But the cool part is that they're actually bright. This one, the 8600 Pro, it has one, but it's not bright at all. You can't, it doesn't really do anything. Like, you have the modeling light, but it's not doing anything for my face, right? The 200 Pro, I'm not sure if it does. Let me see. Yeah, I pressed the button, I'm not seeing anything. But pretty much we're just gonna test these out really quick. They might have a charge in it, so. Alright, so simple enough. We're just gonna take a test shot, see what these are looking like. Again, like I said, I'm liking this kind of, you know, broad lighting, so. It's not bad. It's not really doing much for the photo, just because, like, honestly, it's more so for when I'm face on, like head on. So let me show you. You see how it kind of like accentuates like the jaw? Let me see. Which side was that on? That was this side. Yeah, like this side, because I have this light here, I would need to boost the power on this for it to work out the way that I want it to work out. So let's do that. Let's raise the power on this side right here. Just because it's competing with that 8600 Pro. So we'll bring this side to 1/8 power. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Check it out. Yeah, you see that? So this is why I use these sometimes, or, you know, I just got them, so I don't use them sometimes, but this is why I would use these and the application that they would be used for in my case, outside of lighting up the backdrop, it would be used so that I could get that sort of separation on the side, and also so that it kind of creates this definition. It almost creates this like hollow cheek look on my face, which I don't have, but it gives the illusion for it. Check it out. Boom, you see that? That's what I'm talking about though. Like, it's the little stuff, and it's the ways that you can play with light that'll work out for you, like it'll work. You just have to know what lighting setup is gonna work for your face structure and for your body. Certain lighting setups, like, we're able as photographers to highlight the aspects of you that you want highlighted and hide the ones that you don't really want highlighted, right? So for instance, when it comes to acne and having rough skin, hard light, like meaning no softbox, just like say a beauty dish or direct light from the bulb, that's not gonna help you when you have acne. Like, that's like the farthest thing that you want from, if you have acne. You want soft light, you want a big softbox, bigger than this. This is a 36-inch softbox. You want like an actual umbrella, or you want to bounce it off an entire wall. But like for acne prone skin, or people with a lot of acne on their face or rough spots, to hide it, we would use soft boxes and different modifiers that create soft light. You shoot through some type of a scrim, or one of those 5-in-1 reflectors. But yeah, pretty much just like, there are different ways that you can, manipulate a photo to make it more appealing to the eye, and make you more appealing, and make you seem like you have more to make it seem like you have more than what you actually do, if that makes sense. And it's not to portray a false image of yourself, it's just to portray the best image of yourself. I'm taking a photo of me. I'm probably gonna post like unretouched photos or whatever. Like, these are me, it's just that it's in perfect lighting, So just keep that in mind, when you're booking a photographer for your shoot or whatever. Just make sure they have the know-how and the access to equipment to get the product that you're looking for, because if they don't, then you might be a little bit out of luck. If they only have one light or 2 lights or whatever, you might be limited on the different setups that you can get. I know for me, it would be pretty helpful if I was able to have like a hair light up here. Now, granted, I could substitute one of these and put the hair light. I could do some sort of loop light, not loop lighting, butterfly lighting, or clamshell, like get a reflector and use this as a hair light, the fill light as a hair light. But I want to prioritize getting an even look while still maintaining the lighting setup that I want to have. So I want to have somewhat of a Rembrandt or loop lighting, instead, like more like loop lighting. I want to have loop lighting, but I don't want it to be too contrasty, because it can, just be a bit much for certain people, or for certain, if I print it out or anything like that. So let's take some more photos, and then you'll see kind of how they come out. I think that's really, really good. Now, another part of photography and like, creating the photo, right, is knowing what works for you, and like what kind of fits the current standard of, I guess you'd say, beauty, right? Now, I'm not much of a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not very like super left, so I'm not really into the certain movements that they have a lot going on. So I'm okay with falling into the, regular beauty standards. Like, I'm totally like, yeah, do that, so it sounds super fucked up, but like, I'm trying to like say what I'm trying to say, but the right way. But like, a lot of times within current beauty standards, they're Eurocentric, right? And Eurocentric beauty standards are like low set eyebrows, strong jaws, thin noses, things like that. Now, I don't have all those things, but I know how to sort of portray some of those things. Like, another thing with the glasses, right? Wearing glasses separates the distance between my eyebrow and the top of my eyelid, right? So if I'm just here, fine, right? But if I put the glasses on, it separates it even more to where they look like they're super low set, like I'm a fucking, what's it called? A Sigma or whatever, right? So that's something to keep in mind. You know, there are different things. Again, with these bad boys, they accentuate the jawline, making it seem like I have like this fucking chiseled goddamn straight from out of stone, you know? But it's all just lighting tricks and different things, you know? Again, with the sort of leaning towards the camera, if I'm leaning towards the camera, the top part of my body is going to be larger. And we know if I get closer to the camera, I'm going to be bigger, right? So if I'm leaning towards the camera, especially on a longer focal length like 70, that means that the top portion of my body is going to be smaller than what's back here. So if I have the top of my torso towards the camera and then my waist away from the camera, it's going to look like I have big old shoulders and like a small waist. That's like, you know, think about these things when you're taking your photo or when you're kind of like looking for a photographer, is somebody that can, you know, where you look at their work and consistently they kind of have that look to it. Like, oh, like he's just shooting models all the time. No, these people are just as ugly as you are. You just know how to pose them and make them look all right. Like, I know that I don't look like fucking, you know, a supermodel, but I know how to light myself to make me feel like a supermodel when I look at my pictures. So just keep that in mind, right? Let's keep going. Now, one thing that I am noticing is that I really don't want to look too far down, because if I look too far down, then everything, like too much is in shadow, because I don't have any like fill down here. So I have to kind of get my head in a certain, you know, area that's not too tilted down, but not too up, because I don't want you looking up into my nose. So I kind of have to find like this really sweet spot where I'm looking down enough to where we're not getting any glare from the lights, but I'm not looking too far down to where everything is in shadow and I look like you know, real funny looking, you know? Like you'll see the photos, but let's keep going, keep going, keep going. Now one thing, flex that arm, boy. I like that. I think I like a no teeth smile more. Over the past couple years, I've developed a gap in between my teeth. So now I'm super insecure about my teeth. They used to be the prettiest fucking teeth ever, but now I'm insecure about it. So I don't really smile in like pictures anymore, like with teeth, until I get like, you know, Invisalign or something like that. But yeah. So I think we're gonna go with the no teeth smile, just the regular, you know. So let's keep going, keep it going, keep it going. I think that's it. I think that's it, yo. I really like these last ones, yo. I'm such a goat of a photographer. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways, I think that's really it for what I need. One thing that I do want to do is do some sitting shots. See if I can get anything good with that. I really don't need anything else. I'm not greedy when it comes to photos, man. I'm not greedy. See, the issue is my eyes. I have to figure out how to like use my eyes. It's either I look high or I look like a creep. Like I don't know how to find like a middle point between my eyes, like where they're not too low and they're not too wide open. So like I'm always like struggling with that one. So I'm gonna just keep taking them until I get the shot that I want. But the issue is just that like my eyes, it's always kind of been like this, where it's like the things that I don't even smoke, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. So it's like I don't want people to think that's who I am, but it's either I look like this or I look like, you know, my eyes kind of lower. So it's like I gotta find some type of happy medium with my eyes, you know. That's one of the hardest struggles that I have. Everybody always like assumes like, you know, I smoke weed or something like that. that stuff is just, it's not my bop. Same thing with alcohol, like, you know, not my bop, none of it. So I'm trying not to come off as that in the photos as best as I can. That was a pretty good photo shoot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty satisfied with everything and how it came out. I'm glad I used the white backdrop. I'm glad I used these bad boys. They are super useful. If you're watching this and you live in the New York, Long Island area and you're looking for headshots, portraits, brand shoots, all that kind of stuff, feel free to just hit me up and book a shoot. I'm always available for anything because I enjoy shooting. If you have any requests, if you have any Pinterest, like, you know, inspo and stuff like that, send it my way. Let's create something awesome. Other than that, I appreciate anybody that watched this video. Thank you.